I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of the South Asia Department over the past 2 years to engage with our partner government agencies, identity and advocacy-based civil society organizations in the finalization of the SARD GESI framework. Grounding ADB's operations, the conditions in South Asia, and our partners' policies and program priorities is important to realizing ADB's commitment as set out in the first 2 operational priorities of Strategy 2030. We thank SARD for this initiative and our partners in the 6 countries who are present at this conference for their active participation in launching the SARD GESI framework.
We welcome the South Asia's Department's emphasis on innovative approaches to understand and respond to intersecting inequalities faced by women and girls. ADB's operational plan for Priority 2 of Strategy 2030 on accelerating gender equality recognizes the importance of addressing multiple discrimination against women and girls, including those related to class, ethnicity, indigenous status, sexual orientation and gender identity, disability, religion, age, and migration. To illustrate, a girl child may not even be born due to prenatal sex selection, and if she is born, she may face layers of discrimination throughout her life cycle due to entrenched social norms because of her gender, but also because of where she may live, her ethnicity or religion or sexual orientation. An intersectional approach is critical for advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. It means acknowledging the different forms of gender inequality that women and girls face and consciously acting in response to these differences. We appreciate SARD's efforts to integrate gender intersectionality in relation to social inclusion, and we urge them to continue their relentless efforts to support focused programs for gender equality and women's empowerment in the region.
The Social Development Thematic Group supports the South Asia Department in giving importance to understanding and addressing more systematically the persisting issues of inequality, exclusion, and vulnerability. Understanding the experience and differential impacts of development programs on women, people with disabilities, older persons, disadvantaged youth, people with diverse sexual orientations, gender identities and expressions, and sex characteristics, people living in income poverty, and those from remote and difficult geographic locations is critical to achieving inclusive, sustainable development. This approach is aligned with ADB's corporate efforts to improve the quality of social and poverty assessments, underpinning the design of ADB operations, and with commitments set out in Strategy 2030 Operational Priority 1 and ADB's roadmap for strengthening disability-inclusive development. So let's build on this momentum and ensure that inclusion is at the heart of our work together.
We commend the South Asia Department for its consultative process with government agencies and civil society organizations in developing its gender equality and social inclusion framework. For the past 20 years, civil society engagement has been and will continue to be an important part of ADB's finance programs and projects. We encourage and support collaborative efforts of our partner government agencies with civil society. CSO have a role to play in achieving gender equality and social inclusion, and SARD has good practices in engaging them. These practices are presented in an upcoming ADB NGO and Civil Society Center publication entitled Working Together for Development Results: Lessons from ADB and Civil Society Organizations in South Asia. The NGO is with SARD in this endeavor.